Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. And let's see who was here first. Marie Fabian, thank you so much for being here first. All right, let's get on with it. Slides would be nice. All right, cheers. Hey, Fancy, you weren't here first today, but that's okay. I'm glad you're here anyway. All right, slides are coming up. Nice. There we go. And save the date. Still don't know what that's about, but Meghan told us to save the date. As you can see, save the date Tuesday, the 13th of January at 9. Wait a minute. 9 Pacific time. Okay. I was about to say 9 p.m. 9 post meridian. You know, that's what AM and PM stands for. AM is anti-meridian and PM is post-meridian. It has something to do with what side you're past the meridian line out there in the Pacific Ocean. And if you're right on the line, then that's just meridian time, right? 0, whatever, meridian. Interesting, huh? All these years, I thought PM meant prime minister. I'm like, prime minister time? So what is AM? Administer time. Administer time. No, I'm just making that up. I don't know. But yeah, it means meridian. But you learned that in school, didn't you? I didn't. All right. Don't forget, you guys, there are some great products available on if you go to the community post, you will see that there is a link there available where you can let me see, where is it at here? Why are we seeing Liz Truss again? I thought Liz Truss was through. Why is she haunting us? Okay, so I go to the post, and what do you know? The Digital Haven Design Company is there, right? And there are tote bags, coffee cups, and some other stuff to choose from. So make sure you check it out. Aren't those beautiful? Aren't those beautiful? And I really do like the tote bag. It is so giftable. They have other designs too, so you have to go there to check it out. What's that? You want the link? I'll get the link for you. Okay. There's the link. And I do think they ship internationally. Okay, that's the link. Let me make sure it works. Yes, it does work. Okay. It is pinned to the top of the chat and ready for you to use. So let's, Nadine Berg, thank you so much for, why is that? My bell is malfunctioning. Oh, I see there's something stuck in there. Okay. Thank you so much for 37 months membership. Yes, wow, 37 months was away a while and my mom passed. Oh no. I had no idea. I had no idea. Well, I'm glad you're back and I hope this is a good safe space for you and condolences to you and your family. I had no idea. 37 months membership. So yeah, you've been a part of this community for quite some time, and I thank you for that as well. So yeah, thank you for sharing that with us, and prayers to you and your family. Okay. And check it out. Birmingham has been chosen for its strong ties to the armed forces community. Don't forget, Invictus is coming up in 2027 in Birmingham, where you can go on holiday and save up to 50 pounds per person. That's up to 200 pounds per family. That's 50 pounds per person. Up to 200 pounds per family. Baby, take my hand. I like that commercial. Take my hand. Baby, take my hand. And when you take my hand, you can save up to 50 pounds per person. Okay. Some of y'all don't have any idea. Actually, probably most of y'all don't know what in the heck is he talking about. Never mind. If you know, you know. By the way, I went to Birmingham. The lady at the hotel was so surprised. She's like, "Well, why did you come here?" She's like, "There's nothing here." I'm like, "But this is part of the great industrial Midlands of the United Kingdom of Britain, England, whatever." And I wanted to see the industrial Midlands, so I could not just pass by Birmingham. I went to Birmingham and Manchester. Where else did I go? Anyway, I went to York and I went to Liverpool. Liverpool's like the north of England, right? Um. Anyway. Do I sound different? Oh, well, I do. My throat is kind of irritated. Yeah, my throat is kind of irritated. So I've been having reflux, and not in the best way either. Well, I guess there's no good way to have reflux, but yeah, I've been having reflux, acid reflux, and I have not been taking my medicine properly, so that is an issue. I got to work that out. Okay, let's move on. So the Duchess Meghan, as ever, announcement: new product drop. Save the date, 1/13/26. So that's today. So 9 a.m. Pacific time. So what time is that in Central Time? Well, let me see. I would say Central Time, that's 7 a.m. Oh, this is confusing. For the chapters you want to savor most. Now, people are speculating that this may mean stationery. At the very least, I do believe that there is a bookmark which was offered before. Um, oh my goodness, it was something that you could buy, and you would get that. Believe it's a leather bookmark, right? Oh, it's 11 a.m. Central Time. No wonder I didn't do so well in school. You know, when they have that question, if a train leaves Pittsburgh and is traveling at, what was it, 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, how long would it take that train to get to, oh, I don't know, Chicago? Anyway, as far as I know, that train is still on its way. Okay? That train is still on its way. Do not ask me about that train because that As far as I'm concerned, that train never makes it. I mean, think about it. Everybody who was on that train, um, well, let me see. When I was in school, I'm going to say about half of the people that was on that train has gone to their glory, and the other half, well, they're probably collecting Social Security. Never left the train. Never left the train. They're still on that same train on their way to Chicago. Okay, I'm going to drink some water to soothe my scratchy throat. Okay, give me a second. Better, much better. Baby, take my hand. You could save up to 50 pounds per person. Okay, so save the date, you all. Save the date. Now, will the rush of holiday season, I'm sorry, one more time. With the rush of the holiday season behind us, we look ahead with an intention to begin the new year at a gentler pace, making space for moments that matter. So, we got this the first of the year. Are there any clues in that image aside from Meghan using her wonderful writing skills? Is there anything that gives us a clue what's coming tomorrow? Anybody? Huh? I know you're out there. I can hear y'all breathing. I said, is there anything in that image to give us a clue as to what's coming later today? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Are there any clues, that means you all, that will tell us what to expect? Maybe a fancy writing pen, maybe some stationery, maybe another candle. Huh. I don't know. Let me go back and take a look. For the chapters you want to savor most. For the chapters you want to savor most. So there is a bookmark, and I do believe that's a book. You all are not being very helpful. Anyway, you all are not being very helpful. Oh, finally. Okay, I'm sorry. I see something here. A journal. Thank you, Barbara Johnson. Uh-oh, a cookbook. A dairy? She's going to give us a dairy? Um, okay. A book or a new candle. Okay, now we're getting there. What else y'all got? Leg says it could be a cookbook. Savor. Yes, savor as in eating. Yes. See what happens when we come together? I hate to say heads together because that sounds too much like those people across the pond. But when we put our heads together, great things happen. Well. Well, I tell you what, we'll just remember this. We'll go back and look at this and say, oh, so and so was right. I know that there's a bookmark. It's just got to be a bookmark. But I think a journal and the cookbook. Is it time for a cookbook? Savor. It did say savor. Oh. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I'm excited though. You ought to see how excited I look right now. I just hope that I can save up to 50 pounds per person. Okay, I promise I'm not going to say that again. It really wasn't that funny the first time. That's up to 200 pounds per family. Once you start, it's kind of hard to stop. But okay, I'm not going to say it again. But just so you guys know, I am thinking it. I'm just not saying it, but I am thinking it. All right, so that's that. We'll just have to wait and see. But it may be a cookbook, maybe not, maybe a candle and something else. It's going to be fun finding out. I tell you, this is very stressful and exciting. I cannot wait. So, okay, it says here, United Kingdom newspapers still angry over Meghan Sussex jam sales. Why are they angry, pray tell? Why are they so angry? Well, mm, let's take a look here. So it says, oh Lord. Um, yep. I have to wait for the advertisement to get by. There we go. It says here, it has been more than a week since parts of the UK press seized on claims about Meghan Sussex's jam sales, drawing sweeping conclusions from unverified figures. The interpretation has traveled fast. Wasn't that Mark Twain who said the truth travels around the world faster than no, a lie can travel around the world faster than the truth can get its pants on. And then over time it changed. Some people say before the truth can get his shoes on. And anyway, but the point is, before the truth can even get dressed to go out of the house, the lie has already traveled around the world. And that's true. Lies do travel fast. So, anyway, it says here the interpretation has traveled fast, but it has not traveled accurately. The numbers remain unconfirmed by the Meghan herself, and of course, and the method used to derive them lacks basic journalistic rigor. They're just simply taking um, opinions that suits the narrative that they want to project. Connie Balmer! Hey, Connie Balmer! Um, the available data does not amount to financial disclosure, but that has not slowed the reaction. Instead of the possibility that Meghan could be making millions through her own business, has triggered visible irritation across parts of the UK media. A website glitch became the pretext, stripped of context, and inflated into national negative commentary, revealing how quickly resentment overtakes restraint when her financial independence enters the conversation. How speculation became national copy. The claim about Meghan's supposed jam sales began in hostile Reddit spaces and spread rapidly through parts of the British media. Now, if you're not familiar with the Reddit, you can you can get yourself in like a chat group or whatever. I like Reddit because sometimes when I'm trying to figure out if something is a scam or if something has been um, mentioned that like a defect or flaw or something like that with, say, your phone or maybe a certain brand of television or anything like that, there's always someone who starts a conversation on Reddit about just about anything you can think of. So for that, it has been very, very useful. Um, and matter of fact, I have a story to go with that, and I'll tell you about that later. Nothing to do with Meghan. So from there, headlines followed with little. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed something here. Anti Meghan forums dress speculation up as discovery, while a familiar royal YouTube circuit amplified it. From there, headlines followed with little resistance. No primary sourcing appeared. No confirmation came from Meghan's team. Editors still choose to publish, driven by an obsessive need to qualify how much Meghan might be making. UK tabloids spiral under unverified jam claims, turning speculation into outrage while exposing media fixation. Opinion writers without accountability. Problems sharpened once opinion columns took over. The Telegraph published a piece by William Sitwell that conceded uncertainty, then proceeded as if that admission carried no weight. He noted the figures likely stemmed from a technical issue. He still treated them as a foundation for judgment. The decision did not land in isolation. Sitwell has formed, that is, when it comes to Meghan Sussex in October of 2025, he devoted a column to mocking her appearance at the women's only vegan dinner in Los Angeles, calling it the worst dinner party in history. He framed the event as a vain and grotesque while ignoring the wider context of businesswomen just innocently networking. At the same time, the royal family had just hosted Donald Trump at an extravagant state dinner, completed that is complete with ceremony and excess. That contrast drew no comparable moral outrage from Sidwell. Imagine that. Imagine that. All of the gilding, all of the pomp and circumstances for a second Donald Trump state dinner, the first time in history that the British have given an American president a second state dinner with all of the trappings, gold, and everyone's all dressed up and flying in from around the world. There were billionaires there. Rupert Murdoch was there, right? And yet he refers to what was her name? Greedy. Oh gosh, what is her first name? Anyway, he said that her party was grotesque. No animals died for the purposes of throwing that party. It was a vegan party. Emma Greedy, thank you so much, Legs. A vegan dinner party where women in business could network. And he called that grotesque. Wow. I'm telling you guys, whenever Black people are involved, reason and accountability, common sense and sensibility goes out the flipping window. This type of outrageous verbiage was used against the Obamas. I have been in this world, probably I have more years behind me than I have ahead of me, and I've seen a lot. And that is one thing that is a constant, is that anytime it's something, especially in these United States, but of course, where did we learn it from? Well, from Britain, colonization, slave trade, etc. Um, it's incredible that Black women, even though and let me just say full disclosure, the party was not exclusively for Black women. Just so happens that was probably the majority of the people there. But my point is, Black women have been under attack in Western culture, increasingly under attack the past few years. It's like an attempt to make sure that they have no voice and that nobody looks at them as though they have any type of credibility whatsoever. I mean, just look at the way Michelle Obama was treated. Look at the way she was treated. And I could not for the life of me imagine what was it Michelle Obama had done that was so offensive that she was treated that way, that her name was being dragged in such a way. It's a cultural war. And for whatever reason, it seems to be this need to attack Black women. I mean, that really hurts me to look at the words grotesque, vain, and grotesque. And this is someone who framed it that way because he wants to create hostility against Black women. And this is all very subtle brainwashing so that whenever you see Black women gather, your reaction needs to be one of revulsion and suspicion. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I remember when that article came out, and for some reason, it burns just as bad as it did the first time I saw it. Emma Grady, who has worked so hard, who has come from some very, humble circumstances and made such a life for herself. And instead of celebrating that, she's looked upon with disdain and suspicion. It's interesting, too, because as you know, I'm a big fan of Dynasty, right? And Diane Carroll said to the producers, when you write for my character, please have them write my character as you would write for a white man. I wonder why she felt a need to do that. I'll also tell you another little trivia about Dynasty. Alexis Carrington, Kobe, her character, according to Joan Collins, was inspired by guess who? An old friend named Donald J. Trump. That is where her characterization formed for Alexis, is to do what Donald Trump would do. Anyway, this bothers me, but I'm going to move on. I hate seeing that again. Okay, so here's a quote right here. It says, it is a quite astonishing achievement, and for students of business, set out a very clear and specific path of how to win at being an entrepreneur in the 2020s. That is, have an absolute razor sharp vision of how to become famous and powerful and enact the plan via a blog, TV game shows, a snazzy Netflix drama, snagging a prince, and positioning yourself as a helpless princess. Then flee that house of racism and colonial brutality, move to Los Angeles, publicize your private agonies, and finally star in a syrupy TV homecraft series for Flogging Jam. Society is surely going wrong, fracturing to pieces when a influencer of Meghan's kind can persuade hundreds of thousands of people to part with their hard-earned money, not due to the provenance of its ingredients, but because the person who sells it is famous. And that is what William Sitwell of the Telegraph had to say, the one who wrote those incredibly offensive words about Immigriti's party. I mean, those words are dripping with hostility and disdain for the Duchess of Sussex, but not just for Meghan, for Black women. For Black women. You know how much hostility and pent up frustration a person would have to write something like that? And yet, and yet, the mother of all grifts are taking place in Washington, D.C. right now, where people have lost jobs. In particular, guess who? Black women. One of the things they had to do first is to clean house because there were some very high earning Black women in the federal government. They were the first to go. They were the first to go. Um, the idea of those women creating generational wealth was just too much for them to take. You see the pattern? Do you see the pattern? Anyway, as I say, there's an incredible grift that's going on in Washington, D.C. And the biggest grifter of them all, I wonder if this Sitwell person will write an article about someone who gets elected to high office and sells a bunch of Bitcoins, make billions of dollars, leave a lot of people broke. I wonder if he has an opinion about that. Right? Or how about the people in the UK and in the United States and in other countries that made a fortune from the global pandemic? They used all the inside information available to make a fortune. But Immigriti's party is grotesque and vain. You know, I'm starting to think that William Sitwell is a white man. I have this sneaky suspicion that William Sitwell is a white man. Don't ask me why, but I don't know. I get that feeling. Anyway, um, oh dear, a white man is angst that a I'm sorry, is aghast that a mixed race Black woman has the audacity to build a business and succeed. Oh, I guess he is white. And her success somehow offends the social order of meritocracy. Commerce is apparently only respectable when it flows through white men or arrives blessed by royalty, like the King Charles III and his organic duchy original jams. When Meghan does it, her success is framed as decay, hysteria, and moral failure. The problem is not jam, it is who is allowed to profit. Is who is allowed to profit. By the way, Feminagra is brilliant. Meghan's alleged sales became proof of vanity, excess, and public gullibility. And yes, he really is calling Meghan's customers stupid for purchasing her products. Meanwhile, Sitwell positions himself as the voice of reason. Meghan's sales do not need to be true to serve their purpose. They only needed to provoke public anger. There you have it. The need to provoke public anger. Why this narrative fails beyond Britain. The obsession the British media has with Meghan and her ability to earn money outside the royal fold has crossed into something frankly unhealthy. This fixation did not begin with jam, and it is not accidental. Meghan was already a self made millionaire before Prince Harry married her and before she became the mother of his children. Without her business sense, it is hard to argue that the couple could have sustained an independent life away from the institution at all. That context makes the current hysteria even harder to defend. A supposed website glitch flagged by critics actively searching for the next manufactured outrage is now treated as a matter of national debate. Broadcasters and columnists repeat the claims as though it were disclosure, not conjecture. As ever is not a publicly traded company. There are no shareholders owed transparency. Her products are not even available in the UK. Yet the noise continues, breathless and repetitive, largely confined to Britain and increasingly detached from reality. Now, I do have a soundbite to share with you guys. Let me get this queued up here. I mean, this is just bizarre. It really is bizarre that it has graduated into this national debate. It is sick, I tell you. It is absolutely sick. It has graduated into this national debate in the UK. And of course, if they have their way, it will become an international debate. I don't think most people that are not following the Sussexes through the lens of the British tabloid media are as aware. I mean, it has been a footnote on a lot of news programs, but it's not big news. It's not up for debate in the US. Okay, you ready? Okay, it's buffering. Oh boy. This is just what I need. Oh. Okay, let me try that one more time. This is just what I need. It is buffering, but we'll get there.
Through a website glitch, sales numbers were accidentally revealed, and the Duchess of Sussex appears to have sold nearly 1 million gift boxes of jam. Have we underestimated brand Meghan, Marina?
I think fair play to her. If there is demand out there, which evidently there is, to buy 3 jars of her jam for $42 each.
3 jars of jam for $42.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, if there's demand there are silly people out there. I'm not spending that much on jam, but it's like fair play to her. Fair play that she's not just sat on her bottom expecting the taxpayer to fund her. She's being entrepreneurial.
There has been a lot, Crystal, of criticism of Meghan. People slightly sneering, I would say, at her attempts, but that's a lot of jam to sell.
Yeah, I mean, you know, trading off the royal name that you claim that you don't like whatsoever and then slagging off the family that you were happy to be a part of and accusing them of racism with no evidence whatsoever is very lucrative, and it's worked.
Oh, Krista, that's so cynical. I'm
very, very cynical.
I'm not a fan of any of this lot, right? I'm not bothered by them, but to say all of that, like, is just a bit.
No, I'm
What do you
sorry.
expect her to do? What do you expect her to do?
Leave the family. Leave the family.
They have left the family.
Issue with them
They
leaving
have
the
left
family.
the family.
Oh, try not calling her Duchess. Try not.
Yeah, that's quite insufferable.
Yeah, absolutely. Because what they've done is this. I'm not fans of them. You may have worked out.
Do you know, I didn't need to be Miss Marple to guess that.
I just think either leave the family or don't, but don't trade off the names and then fire grenades at them once you claim that you've left and you don't like them anymore. Either leave and go or not.
Whatever. Christo, if that were your a family that you'd married into, this firm that essentially like briefs the tabloids against you, guess what? You'd have some beef.
You're saying all of that though based on her words and not evidence. Like they haven't come back and said.
You don't think the firm briefs the tabloids?
You don't think that she does the same? Like
Okay.
And just like that, we're as far away from jam as you can possibly imagine. Through a website glitch, sales numbers were accidentally revealed, and the Duchess of Sussex appears to have sold nearly 1 million gift boxes of jam. Have we underestimated brand Meghan, Marina?
I think fair play to her. If there is.
Okay, you guys. Sorry about that. And oh, yes, I did walk away for a second. All right, let me take a look at some of your comments. Okay, that's a comment. Oh, man. Okay. Good morning, Ruth C. Yes, Meghan is winning. Let's see. But what is that they call it? Kate comes from a business family, a mercantile family, a family of what do you call it? An entrepreneurial family, right? With their party pieces. Okay. Lawlessness at the highest level by lifelong white lawbreakers. Does that mean politicians? Because there are politicians on the take of every color. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed this earlier. So Emma Greedy can't spend her own personal money to host a dinner party, but Buckingham Palace can use taxpayer funds to host the, what is that, EpiPen's best friend. Woo! Okay. Well, thank you for that, Miss Z. Okay. But she's a duchess. Sarah Ferguson been called Duchess of York for years. No one said anything. Well, as long as Sarah Ferguson didn't remarry, it was her right to do that. To go by Duchess, but she just, couldn't use a HRH or anything like that. Let's see. When she asked him, oh, okay. That's something to think about. Tina Turner shouldn't have kept her husband's last name. Oh, this looks interesting. Leave the family. Does this idiot know it's been 6 years since they left. Meghan just carried on with her TIG blog, took it to the Netflix without title. God can't stand these idiots. Thank you for that, Naomi Maria. Okay. All right. Well, I like your comments, everyone. One of the squatties, Joe Diva, shared, it's not just a raspberry spread, it's the raspberry spread that broke her haters. And I tell you, the haters did go silent. They literally went quiet. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry. There's just a little bit more left of that article. This pattern played out in real time on daytime television on the Jeremy Vine. The conversation slid quickly from, let me go back there, from jam into grievance. That accusation collapses under even light scrutiny because it reframes documented hostility as opportunism. It recasts documented accounts of media hostility and institutional briefing as opportunism, while pretending Meghan's name, labor, and credibility have no value unless sanctioned by the very system she left. Framing her work as trading off of status ignores the fact that independence, not deference, is what makes her success intolerable to her critics. And now, a final thought from Feminagra. You know, I love Feminagra's final thoughts. What sits beneath these reactions is resentment. Figures like Sitwell and broadcast commentators alike appear angrier at the success than they even were at her departure. Meghan is not drawing from British taxpayers. She is not waiting to be funded. She is minding her own business, and that independence seems to irritate them deeply. There remains a clear discomfort with a version of Meghan who refuses dependency, refuses silence, and refuses the gilded cage. Her ability to succeed on her own terms is what truly unsettles them. Meghan Sussex has not even taken her brand global yet, and the coverage already reads like panic. For years, the media insisted that she was unpopular and destined to fail without royal approval. If she is succeeding selling something as ordinary as jam, that narrative starts to collapse. The unease comes from the realization that the press does not control her relevance or the public's taste. And if a woman then they spent years trying to diminish can prosper without their permission, then the authority they thought they held was never real in the first place. Come on, Feminagra. The authority that they thought they had held was never real in the first place. I love it. Ruth C., thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. I tell you, Feminagra is so good. I love it. Love Feminagra. Now, let's see. Tom Sykes, also known as Brer Rabbit, is at it again. He is at it again. Prince Harry and Meghan lay groundwork for move back to Britain. On Saturday, the Royalists reported, that's Tom Sykes, by the way, that the Duchess of Sussex was planning a return to the United Kingdom as soon as this summer. A spokesperson for Prince Harry said the report was pure speculation. the London Sunday Times is now carrying a closely aligned story. The Sunday Times does not go into the same level of detail as the Sun, which suggested Meghan could be back in the UK for the preparation for Invictus game in July of 2027, which of course that means she'll be back in July for the 1 year countdown till the Invictus games. That's going to come up really fast, you know. Prince Harry reaches with the British government. In the deal that Prince Harry reaches with the British government over his security arrangements, that means Meghan may actually join him because, as you know, Harry argued that he does not feel it's safe enough for him to bring his family to the UK. Lex says, what is up with Tom Sykes? What makes him think that Harry and Meghan wants to move back to the UK? Doesn't he mean possible visit? Ugh. The Invictus Game 27 didn't care for the labor that they were putting Harry and Meghan through. Thank you so much for your comment. Move back to Britain for what? Maybe by giving the idea that there will be some type of permanent move or that they would have a second home. Maybe that is to create panic amongst the public so that there will be this big outcry. A source is quoted as saying of Meghan, I think she would come back with him and the children. They love to do stuff as a family whenever they can. That right there is the stupidest thing I ever heard. Not that it's not true, but that you would dare to speak it as though that doesn't make common sense, as though that's not common sense that a family likes to do things together. There's no big revelation there because a lot of families like to do things together. Anyway, they love to do stuff together whenever they can, and they do things philanthropically. They often take the kids along privately, which I don't think that's true. I can't see a reason why he'd come over with the kids without her. Okay, so the kids were photographed one time and one time only at that particular food bank or whatever, which actually caters to family time. As I showed you guys a while ago, there were lots of families that went to that place as a family to volunteer. No big revelation. As we know, Princess Diana routinely brought the kids along for certain things so that they could see what was necessary for them to do in this world. So, Tom Sykes can just pull on a thread and make a whole jumper out of it. Let's see, the significant statement. It also goes a long way toward explaining an intriguing story in the Mail on Sunday that Prince William has added an experienced crisis manager. Okay, I'm going to skip that part because we know all about her. I think a lot of this is repeating that article that I shared from the Royalists. It just looks like he tweaked it for the Daily Beast. Anyway, so I'm just going to go to what he concludes here. When you weave the strands together, it becomes hard to avoid the conclusion that preparations are indeed underway for Harry to get his security back and set up a bigger Sussex franchise in the UK, which again, that is repeated from the Royalists. So, yeah, nothing new to see here. Let's see. They all need to shut up and be grateful that Birmingham stands to collect some much needed tourism funds. Thank you very much, Ms. Z, for the super chat. And that, oh, and also thanks for being a member. That is very important to note that because of Harry's incredible profile and the possibility of Meghan being there, you know, it's going to be all kind of people visiting, and there's going to be a lot of press camped out like there's a big wedding or something taking place. I don't think it's going to be as big as, say, a royal wedding, of course, but I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of press there, a lot. So we'll see, though. Now, what are some of the comments that Tom Sykes received? Okay. Puzzling. Did Andrew have a revival court? Did Princess Margaret? I'm sorry, not revival, rival court. Yeah, did Andrew or Princess Margaret, did they have a rival court? As you know, Tom Sykes seems to believe that there's some kind of rival court being set up by Harry and Meghan. You know, and like I said, that only makes sense to worry about if these were ancient times. There is no way in the world that Harry is setting up a rival court as though he's trying to make a claim to the throne. There are several people ahead of him for the throne, meaning, of course, the Wellses' children. Harry is not interested in the throne anyway. These are not ancient times. So that is very silly for him to dwell on that. But like I said, the whole thing of a court rivalry is to create panic and hostility, especially amongst the royalists who would be triggered by hearing such a thing. Okay, who would be looking into leaving the U.S. if they had the means? Who wouldn't be looking to leave the U.S. if they had the means? I don't know. Rich people can live just about anywhere and not feel pressure of being in a given society. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things, I mean, frankly, that do not affect rich people on a day-to-day basis. So, I mean, the Sussexes live in Montecito. That is a freaking oasis on the California coast. It's not like you're throwing them into like some rural crime-ridden area or something. They live in flipping Montecito. Oh, well, who wouldn't want to leave them? This obviously is not someone from the U.S. I think some people underestimate the vastness of the United States and how the regions are so incredibly different wherever you go. Oh, this is really crazy. Listen to this one comment. I assume when they moved to the States, okay, so that's somebody from the UK, I bet, Meghan had convinced Harry that he would be Hollywood superstars and billionaires, and it just didn't work out. Don't you love people believing that Harry and Meghan are failures? Doing their fake world tours representing what the Polo Club of Santa Barbara, we're frankly ridiculous. Things didn't work as planned. They are just trying to save face. Oh my God. Oh, let me take a deep breath. They live in Montecito. They have a huge mansion. They are friends with some of the best and the brightest, right? They have plenty disposable income. I don't know how you get things didn't work out. Harry with his best-selling book, Harry and Meghan with their #1 best Netflix docuseries, right? Meghan with her #1 podcast. Meghan with her top 10 home show. I don't get this failure thing. They tell each other that, and they make one another believe that somehow the Sussexes have come up short. Harry didn't go to California to get cast in the next Bond movie. It's just like when they say, oh, Harry and Meghan never make the red carpet. Most people in the entertainment industry do not go to those events unless they're supporting someone or unless they are in the running to win something. It's expensive, it's boring, it's tedious. I don't imagine that the Sussexes are very starstruck to even want to do something like a red carpet. It's just not the case. The entertainment community in California is like a small town. Everybody knows somebody that knows somebody, and you constantly run into people. You have a lot of friends that people know nothing about. And that is the part of their reality that a lot of people just do not get. It's like Ted Saranto said, I have been out with a lot of very famous people, and nothing compares to the excitement of Meghan in the room. Nothing. I mean, he has some of the biggest names begging Netflix to give them something to do. So he's met all these people. He knows all these people. And yet the bigger reaction comes from the Sussexes. Lex says, guess they didn't go to Kris Jenner's birthday either. Thank you, Lex. Yeah, how many current stars wanted to go to King Charles III's coronation? Not many, I suspect. Well, let's see. They're complaining that the Duchess, Meghan, sold 1 million jars of jam and said, and I'm sorry, in the same time, they say they are mailers, which is which now. Okay, thank you for your comment. All right, let me go here. Now, you guys listen. Let's say you lived in the wilderness, right? And Tom Sykes came and knocked on your door. I mean, look at that face. Wouldn't that scare the crap out of you? I took a good look at him. I mean, this guy looks like a serial something. That is a very disturbed man. I mean, look at that pathetic face. This person looks like someone that will be discovered thanks to the current technology and advancements of DNA. That there are a lot of unsolved, let's say, events. There are a lot of unsolved events. That's what he looks like. I'm not saying that he's done anything wrong, but I just believe that if I ever saw the police haul him out one day, I wouldn't be surprised. This is a crazy looking person. He just looks crazy. I'm not saying that he's done anything wrong, but my God, he is scary looking. Yep. Yes, be prepared to shelter in place. Call emergency services. Or how about if you looked in the peephole? Let's say you lived in an apartment building and nobody's usually at home during the day but you, and you look in the peephole and you saw that face. What would your next action be? Fight or flight, I would imagine. Fight or flight. It's no wonder he writes crazy stuff because he looks crazy. Yeah. And I tell you, I'm not scared of much in this world, but this person right here would scare me. I'd be like, who is it? Who? Woo! I'd be like, I'd be like, can, could I help you? Yeah, that is a scary looking individual. Wonder what he does from day to day besides think of stuff to say about Meghan. Scary. He reminds me, what movie was that? Hmm. I'm choosing my words carefully, of course, but I'm choosing my words carefully, but I would just be so terrified if I looked through the peephole and saw that, especially if I lived anywhere near a mental institution. You know what I'm saying? I would call for help first, and then I would turn on the news to see if anybody escaped. Because if he doesn't look like he escaped from an asylum, I don't know who does. Is that right? You know what? I think I heard something about him having had some issues in the past. He looks like somebody who had issues in the past. He scares me though. I mean, just frightening. I think of like any of the serial people, right? I can say that right. I'm thinking of any of those serial people that I've seen in my lifetime, and this one looks like he would fit perfectly on one of those most wanted sheets. Scary. If I had a neighbor that looked like that, I'd move. I would move. He is scary though. He is. I mean, listen, I think for the most part he's just a big punk, and I would just be nervous if I didn't know he was there, right? Or if he was my neighbor and I never really spoke to him, and then all of a sudden, bam, he's right there at the peephole. I'd be like, Could I help you?" While I'm looking through the peephole, I would make sure that all of the locks are engaged. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably be like, "Wait a second," and put something in front of the door and be like, "Now, what did you say? Can I help you?" Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, whenever the Sussexes come to town, let's make sure we know where he is that weekend or that week, right? Let's make sure we know where he is. Because I don't think he's wrapped too tight. So Zandy Sussex said, may, could. What reports? Everything you read related to that is the racist British media fantasy. Funny how the racist British media and their racist mouthpieces are trying to make it all about security, as if security is the only reason why Meghan hasn't set and oh, it cuts off. I'm so sorry about that. Set a foot, I guess, is saying. And then take a look at from yesterday. So wait, yeah, the one on the left is for the 12th. The one on the right is the 11th. The Sussex Soldier says, did I miss something? When did Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, tell the British tabloids that she's planning to appear with Prince Harry on July 10th in Birmingham? They think that it is all about security protection, but it is also about mental peace, which is something to take note of. That, of course, Meghan is going to put her mental health and well being first. Harry is going to put her mental health and well being first. So there is no guarantee that Meghan is going to show up on that particular day. But as you can see on the left, reports indicate the Duchess of Sussex could attend the year to go celebration. And on the right, it says British tabloids say the Duchess of Sussex plans to appear with Prince Harry on July the 10th. How did it go from could to plan? How did that happen? In just 24 hours, it went from could to plan. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. What's next? And old Dickie Arbiter. He posted a picture of Meg's summer return. Indeed. Indeed what? And Phil Dampier. What? What? These people are unhinged. They are unhinged. You know how they say some people have Trump derangement syndrome? I really do believe that there are people that have Sussex derangement syndrome. That's why they call them derangers, right? Instead of Kate's rangers, they are deranged people. And let's not forget Dickie Arbiter. Not only was he the model used to create the famous painting, The Scream, as you can see, the resemblance is incredible, right? Not only was he the inspiration for Scream, but he's also amongst that quartet of confirmed liars. It has been confirmed that they misrepresented, that they flat out lied, is the only way you can put it. They made videos with the idea that they actually watched the Oprah interview before anybody else watched it. Only the people that edited the film, they're the only people that had seen it. And of course, perhaps Oprah Winfrey herself had seen an advanced copy. But aside from that, it was a big secret. So how did they sit there in front of a camera for approximately 300 pounds each, thanks to a couple of YouTube pranksters that convinced them to respond to something that had not even aired? But they did. And because of that, people lost their credibility. People lost their lashes and eyebrows. All kind of losses occurred because of that. And it really did affect their bottom line. I believe Dickie Arbiter had lost a few gigs because of, and I think didn't they say that Dickie Arbiter was working on a cruise ship, doing like some type of lecture or something on a cruise ship? And poor Victoria Arbiter, with that horrible high pitched voice, she lost all of her stuff at ABC, I think it was. She lost her health insurance, all kind of stuff she lost because her benefits were no longer available since she no longer works for them because of that video that she made. I mean, it's a real shame, but it really goes to show that having reporters or journalists, having them with so much credibility lacking character and credibility, that they can still find work within the tabloid media universe. That is something they can always do. Did he? I didn't know about that. Mary H said, my son said, a black woman living her dreams is a white person's nightmare. Those people are losing their minds over Princess Meghan Sussex. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand really why it's so triggering to see a black woman's success. I don't know why. You know, one of the reasons why Oprah was able to do the Sussex's interview was because she had no fear of the backlash, because just about everything that the tabloids could do to Oprah has been done before and done many times before. I remember when Oprah was selling so many uh, Inquirer newspapers and the Star newspaper, the Globe and the Examiner, all of those American tabloid papers, they only come out once a week. Oprah made millions for those people, right? So much so that Oprah started her own magazine, O Magazine, of course, and made millions putting herself on the cover as opposed to other people putting her on covers. And she had no control over the editorials and such. And she made a fortune. And this happened when other magazines were in decline and folding and out of business. Oprah was making money. Her magazine was trending in the other direction for a long time. And of course, she didn't have to worry about negative articles in her own magazine because it was her magazine. And it just goes to show there were as many people who were glad to hear something positive as there were people who wanted to see scandal and hatred, jealousy and bitterness. Okay, I'm writing this not as the prince I was born, but as the man I have become, Prince Harry. You guys know the anniversary of Spare kind of came and went, and I didn't even realize it. I'm like, oh, yes, that's right. It came out in what, January of 2023? right? Anyway, I started pulling some slides out just to take a little walk down memory lane, shall we? Will and Kate embarrassed. Harry empowered. That was one of my thumbnails. Prince Harry's spare breaks records. Oh, how about this? Is here. That's when I received my book. The one I ordered came. And of course, Prince Harry's book, Just Good Literature, is just good literature. And spare his blockbuster memoir, Prince Harry recounts that during the 2015 interview, shortly after his brother's second child was born, a journalist told him that his, what is that? Single life had caused some to liken him to Bridget Jones. Harry was perplexed by the comparison, but in the context of Spare, it is an apt one. Memoir reads like one of those popular late 1990s novels about British singletons blundering. Anyway, comparing him to Bridget Jones. And of course, there's Miss Seeley in church reading Spare, kind of undercover. Oh, Prince Harry's Spare storms into the UK top 50, #1 spot, selling 467,183 print copies to become the fastest selling nonfiction book of all time. Is that right? Remember how they were saying that the book was a flop? Remember that? They said so many things about Spare that turned out to be false. No one likes a complainer. America dumps Prince Harry as his approval rating drops 45 points and Meghan's 36 points in just over 1 month following the release of his memoir, Spare. That is a flipping lie. That is a lie. And I don't even want to talk about Jeremy Clarkson. Almost nobody turned up to buy Prince Harry's new book at midnight. Spare is surprisingly well written despite the drama around it, says Time magazine. But look at this. Harry's Hatchet Job memoir falls flat as cues fail to appear at major bookshops in the UK. Slow trickle of sales as Harry's book hits shelves after spate of leaks. Must be cleared. Meghan's hands. Harry podcast warning as his memoir may suffer a flop. Headed for the bargain bin before it's even been released. Industry experts believe the book, officially priced £28, will go on sale in Tesco's for as little as £8 a copy. I mean, listen to all the pessimism, right? But wait, Prince Harry's Spare becomes the fastest selling nonfiction book ever. Guinness World Records. The fastest selling. He even beat Barack Obama. The fastest selling nonfiction book ever. And that was by January the 13th, 3 days after the release. One of the reasons, of course, is that the pre-sale. A lot of people pre-ordered the book, like myself. Look at there. What is that? Spare has become the fastest selling nonfiction book of all time after shifting 1.43 million copies during its first day on sale in the UK, US, and Canada. The record previously held by Barack Obama's fourth book, A Promised Land, in 2020, which sold 887,000 copies during its release day. Huh. Oh, it becomes Indigo's fastest selling nonfiction. Think about all of the negativity and pessimism that I just shared with you. And this book is, what do they call it? Selling like hotcakes. Every place you look, fastest selling nonfiction. Over 1.4 million English copies already on second run. Prince Harry's Spare jumps to number 1 on bestsellers list. Oh, wait a minute. I thought Harry's popularity was in the toilet. Says here, Prince Harry's special relationship with the American media proves it's good to be the spare. And of course, the best interview was with Stephen Colbert. Oh, New York Times, combined print and ebook nonfiction. New York Times bestseller. Prince Harry's Spare becomes Australia's fastest selling memoir with 120,000 copies bought in its first week. What is that? Prince Harry book smashes Australian sales records easily. Oh my God, I cannot see that. Hold on a second. That's really small. What is that? Let me see. Spare by Prince Harry, UK's fastest selling memoir since records began. Alex Ferguson, Tony Blair. Oh, yeah, he definitely outdid David Beckham, Barack Obama, Paul Burrell, Don French, Russell Brand. Easily defeated. Look at by how much. Look at by how much he outpaced them. Oh, and you know what? I love this one here. Look. Okay, so this guy says, okay, John R. Dallas. I forgot who the hell he was, but okay, so it says right here, his truths are newsworthy. Why did I order 2 copies of Prince Harry's memoir from Penguin Books to arrive on its date of release to lighten the air swirling around Prince Harry's book? Count the seconds until the humorous answers come to you. Have some fun with this exercise. And then over there on the right, it says, done. I finished Spare well within 36 hours of starting it. It's be like, let me see. Wait, hold on a second. Slide that over. Oh, there it is. I couldn't see the other side there. All right. Let me see. It's not written to be like one wouldn't. It's to be respected and valued for its raw humanity and great vulnerability with expectedly personal empathy. I'm grateful to Prince Harry for sharing his journey to date. So yeah, there you go. 36 hours he finished that book. 36 hours. And check out these ladies. Our residents enjoyed one-to-one interactions with our carers this week. Peta was happy to receive a copy of Prince Harry's new book, Spare, as she's been discussing it with her friends. Anne and Vera were treated to a chocolately classic, the curly whirly. Okay. Well, anyway, I guess they got a little book club at their residence. I don't want to say. Oh, and look at that. How Prince Harry's Spare helps those grieving childhood loss. Prolonged grief, a major theme of Prince Harry's memoir, a case of complicated grief. So this book was being recommended by the psychiatric community. Now, this is huge for a book that they said was going to flop. The second largest weeknight audience for the show in more than 2 years, with 3.15 million total viewers, the most on a weeknight since former President Barack Obama appeared on the show in November of 2020. Prince Harry's 60 Minutes interview with Anderson Cooper drew 10.52 million viewers for CBS. That's up plus 16% from the news magazine's seasonal average to date. And by the way, 60 Minutes US is often, at least it was before they messed it up, was often in the top 10 of all shows across all networks. It wasn't unusual for 60 Minutes to have a place in the top 10 every week. Over there. Spare. Britain's media gatekeepers are no match for America's Just Ask Prince Harry. You hear that? The gatekeepers. In other words, the haters and the tabloid media. If the British media had gotten their way, Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, released a fortnight ago, would have floundered. Harry's hatchet job memoir falls flat, read the Daily Express, commenting on the lack of queues outside of bookshops and publication day. Prince Harry's bombshell book Spare is headed for the bargain bin before it even has been released, declared the Daily Mirror a few weeks earlier. Elsewhere, the likes of Julia Hartley Brewer, Piers Hoghead Morgan, and the rest of the Britain's bombastic pundits class were suitably apoplectic. So there you go. The book has done incredibly well despite the campaign to crush it before anybody even had a chance to pick it up. It did not matter. So again, the Britain's media gatekeepers are no match for America's. So there you go. Available, it says there, #1 global bestseller. So by October of 2024, they were calling it the #1 global bestseller. And then here you can see, let me see. She told the BBC, I think it is a very important because I personally go through some mental health issues. I have anxiety. I suffer from depression from now and then. And it's really nice that people still don't really think it's a taboo anymore to speak on these things. And it's really nice that they were able to come here today and tell us that it's okay to not be okay. And of course, the book was a big hit in several places in Africa. So there you go, you guys. And now, of course, since we haven't seen this one in a while, let me share this one with you. You all know her, you love her. And of course, she is a big fan of Prince Harry's. Where is she at here? And I love Prince Harry.
And I love Prince Harry, and Prince Harry should be king. He should be king. Prince Harry, not William. William and all of them in there, Camilla is the wicked witch of the devil himself, because she is part of why Princess Diana is not here. I do not like them. I am from the islands, and we don't need them in the Caribbean. Get lost. Demolish the monarchy. This is 2023, okay? And I will support Harry 100%. I do feel for him. Yes, I do. And everything in the book is the truth. And Charles is the monster, not Harry. Harry's no monster, not Meghan. He's bringing the story out right now. They are evil people. They are not nice. Behind the wall, we all are one human being, and behind that wall there are no difference with me and you and any other Brits.
Give the people back the money.
They are just welfare recipients living off the taxpayers of the British people, and the British people are stupid supporting that nonsense monarchy. It is nothing. It's just a title. It means nothing. A title. I'm angry at them.
Oh, yes. I love her. That never gets old, does it? That never gets old. Prince William and Kate Middleton's controversial habit in bed. Habit in bed. Would you do it? Now, of course, I'm just going to tell you, this title is not what you probably think it is, but where is that at? Oh, did I lose that article? Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, that was in the Hello magazine. How long ago was that? Oh, yeah, it was in 2023 was the year it all came crashing down, and William was done with Kate. In June of 2023, it was reported they slept in separate beds. This is how they tried to sell it. So this article was to try to normalize, an attempt that is to normalize the fact that people found out that they were not sleeping together. In the midst of a heat wave, many of us would prefer to sleep alone to stay cool. And it's long been reported that royal couples always have separate bedrooms. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna agree with that. If I remember in what was it, Downton Abbey? They always say smart people usually don't sleep with their spouse. They usually have separate bedrooms. In other words, it was exceptional that the Lord and Lady Grantham shared a bedroom. So I believe that. I don't think it's so abnormal, but like I said, a little bit misleading. But in order to help Will and Kate out, they came up with all of these rationales for the reason they don't sleep in the same bed or even in the same room, no less. It's not just sleeping in the heat that can be improved by having a bed to yourself, though. The fact that Prince William and Princess Kate reportedly chose to have a bedroom each is likely to benefit the Princess of Wales' health all year round. See how they have made excuses for this? According to a sleep expert at the Loughborough University, women need 20 minutes more sleep than men due to their due to their complex brains. So it's a good idea for William to have his own room. So that way, Kate's complex brain can, I don't know, have longer to heal or sleep or something. So having her own bedroom could mean that the princess gets the extra sleep she needs, free from her husband's disturbing her too early. Uh-huh. Is that the story that they're going to stick to? I mean, all right. I can understand that most women uh, might need a little extra sleep or whatever, because, I mean, let's face it, when it comes to most household, men don't usually do as much in the house as women do. Um, a lot of times, even if a woman works a full-time job, certain things are deferred to women. But there are some couples that are more equal than others. So just to be fair, you have to say that. Um, but be that as it may, there could be a lot of reasons why that statistic is true if you believe it. But as far as Kate having a complex brain, that 20 minutes of extra sleep doesn't seem to help her at all, does it? I mean, seriously, what does that 20 minutes of extra sleep do for Kate Middleton? How does that help her? I really can't tell it makes a difference, and I'm going to show you why.
You'll face the daily challenge at finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact. Leaders, you'll face the daily challenge at finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact.
So like I said, how does that extra 20 minutes help her? How does that serve Kate Middleton to get an extra 20 minutes? Maybe Kate needs about an extra 2 hours. Maybe she needs about 2 hours more of sleep. Maybe 20 minutes ain't enough for her. Let's see. Crisis in the same bed together. Want clicks? Thank you, Legs. Isn't that what it's really about, is just to get them clicks? You know, so brother, that is interesting you say that. Maybe they are, and it has not been announced, although it would be considered a constitutional crisis if it was ever divulged that they have been divorced and there were no announcements by it. So I and for that reason alone, I'm gonna disagree. I don't believe that they are divorced. Maybe they did some kind of a renup or renup or something. Maybe they have some signed agreement that they hashed out during Kate's disappearance. Of course, something happened, right? But it would be huge. It would be a huge event. It would be a lot of problems if the public ever found out that those two were not married any longer. So, yeah, that would be huge. I don't think that they would want to risk that, because the government, literally the British government, would have to be involved with any decisions like that. So, yeah, for that reason, I'm going to say I don't think they're divorced. But separated, probably. But thank you for your comment. Let me see. What's the other excuse? Separate beds are sometimes believed to be a sign of trouble in marriage, but Jessica Alderson, relationship expert and co-founder of the So Cinched dating app, says this is far from the truth. One of the biggest relationships myths is that sleeping in separate beds is a sign of an unhealthy relationship. But this isn't necessarily true, she says. Sleeping in separate beds as a couple can be a liberating experience and allow each person to have their own space. When couples have separate beds, They can make their own choices regarding sleeping habits, such as preferences around temperature, bedding, and sleeping routines. It can lead to a much better sleep quality for both people, which can positively impact all areas of their lives, including the quality of their relationship together. Uh huh. Or it could mean that the separate bed is someplace across town. Kate has a bed at Royal Lodge. I'm sorry, at Forest Lodge, and William has a bed at Windsor Castle and or Anmer Hall and possibly Kensington Palace, allegedly. So when they say separate beds, don't they really mean separate homes? Ain't that what that really means? That they're sleeping across town from one another? And why does separate beds comes with a crisis manager? Huh? Since when did separate beds come with crisis managers? Anyway, I didn't know this article exists before today. I did not realize that there was an article that had already mentioned about them sleeping separately. I didn't know that that was a thing, or at least of all that it was so well known and established. But be that as it may, we now find it hard to believe that they are even in the same house together. Now, here's 3 reasons why we should abolish the monarchy and change the country for good. Oh, you know what? This is the last thing I have for today. This is the absolute last thing. I didn't realize that we were here already. I thought it was something else after this, but it's not. So anyway, you guys, again, I am done for today. I'm going to go ahead and play this sound bite for you, if you care to listen.
There are 3 very simple reasons why the public wants to get rid of the monarchy. Number 1 is a matter of principle. Most people believe in democracy and the fundamental principles that underpin it. The idea that we are equal citizens, the idea that
Buffering.
we are equal in law. And we've seen this with reactions to Prince Andrew, where the royals appear not to be equal in law. Now, there is another very strong reason for getting rid of the monarchy, which is the palace itself, the institution of the monarchy, which is corrupt, it is secretive, it abuses public money, but the whole family behaves as if they can get away with anything they like, which they generally can because they are not treated equal in law. And so we see them spending £500 million or more on their own lifestyles every single year. It's £500 million on one institution that only has to provide us with one head of state. The Irish president, of course, only costs about £4 or £5 million a year, and is a similar role to that of the monarch in the UK. The third reason is the politics, because what a lot of people miss and forget is that the constitution of the United Kingdom, which is pretty shoddy, is centered on the crown. The crown is the central pillar of our constitution. It is the source of legal and political power. It puts an awful lot of power in the hands of the government. If we have a democratically elected head of state in a parliamentary system, so we still have the prime minister, we still have 2 houses of parliament fully elected, that is right in principle. It fits our democratic values. It is an institution that we can ensure is scrutinized and where the people involved are held to account. And if they do something wrong, we can get rid of them and replace them. And it gives us a chance to reform our politics, so more power is dispersed across more people, and so that more power is in your hands as well, so that we are genuinely citizens, not subjects. And this will give us a chance to govern better, more fairly, more equitably, and to change the country for good.
You know, they have not been as active as of late, which is a bit disappointing, but they have not been very active as of late. What happened to them? You know what I mean? Are they going to gear up for, I guess, the next big relative date for them to show up would be Commonwealth Day. Yeah, they usually make a lot of noise for Commonwealth Day, so we could look forward to that. Yeah, That's it. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to look at some of your last comments, but that is the last slide I have for today. Gosh, that came up a little faster than I expected, but we have been on for almost 2 hours. Kate's original accent makes her sound like a country bumpkin. William probably wouldn't have married her with an accent like that. I don't know what she sounded like before, but I know now they say that her accent is rather clipped. I don't really understand what they mean by clipped. Does that mean like the way they I don't know. I don't know what that means, clipped. But I've read a couple times where they said her accent was rather clipped. She speaks with that very clipped accent. But what does that mean? Okay, here we go.
All of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB.
Well done on all you've achieved. You've been an inspiration to us all.
From all of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB.
Well done on all you've achieved. You've been an inspiration to us all.
From all of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB.
Well done on all you've achieved. You've been an inspiration to us all. Inspiration to us all.
From all of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB.
Well done on all you've achieved. You've been an inspiration to us all.
So, do you mean to tell me that she's worked on that accent? That sound coming out of her is carefully cultivated to sound very posh and upper class? That's scary to think of.
You'll face the daily challenge of finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact.
Patine, profitability. Now, the word patine, I thought patine was the sound that a watermelon seed made when you spit into like a jug. You know how when it hits the side of an empty metal jug, it would make that patine, like patine, patine. I thought that's what patine meant. And then the profitability, I thought that was Latin for Papa Don't Preach, right? I thought that was like that Madonna song, Papa Don't Preach. In Latin is I thought that was the Latin language for Papa Don't Preach. Profitability. Profitability. I'm in trouble deep. Profitability. I made up my mind. I'm keeping my baby. I'm keeping my baby. Profitability. I'm in trouble deep. Profitability. You see what I mean? She has her own language. She's so high class, I can barely understand her.
All of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB.
Inspiration to us all.
From all of us watching at home, congratulations to Team GB.
Wow. She really has to from all of us at home. From all of us at home. Oh, is that what it is? It's a shampoo. Patine is a shampoo. Okay. I guess she just took it out of context, huh? Patine. So it's okay, patine shampoo. Thank you for that. I wasn't sure. Then what is what is profitability? Because I think it's Latin, but I may be wrong. Maybe it's not a Latin language. Well, just a reminder, you guys. Meghan says save the date. What time did you guys say that was tomorrow? Is that 11 a.m. Eastern time? They're going to have a drop. Meghan's got something new coming out. So have your credit cards ready. I know I will. It doesn't matter how much debt I get myself into, so long as I can be a part of the experience of purchasing As Ever products. That's all that matters. If As Ever comes out with a vehicle like, I don't know, say a 4-door sedan, saloon, whatever, I'll get one of those too. Yep. Why, thank you, Cookies and Cream. That is sound advice. Oh, good night to you too, Mary H. Thank you so much for being here. So that's 11 a.m. Central Time. All right. So if it's 9 a.m. Pacific Time, that's 11 a.m. Central. Wait a minute. 9 a.m. Pacific Time is 11 a.m. Central Time. So what is that? Noon for the East Coast? Hey, Ella Parker. You can't buy anything. God bless you too, soul brother. Thank you so much for that. Well, anyway, this is going to be exciting. I cannot wait. I have the 518. Is it the 518 or 19 candle? 518 or 519? That is my favorite of the two candles. So I still have one left, right? So I'm saving that one for, I don't know what I'm saving it for. I guess when I'm done with the other one, then it'll be time to crack that one open. But I love it. I don't know. It's something about it. It just seems like it improves the air quality. I feel like I could breathe so much better when that candle is going. That is a big hit for me. Out of the two candles, that's my favorite. But yeah, I cannot wait until they can start selling the As Ever internationally. That is going to be exciting because I really do want the Sussexes to be a billionaire couple by this time, let's say next year. I mean, that's kind of fast, but I don't care because their security will be determined by their income, by their net worth. So that way, I know they'll be safe. Okay, so noon on the East Coast. All right. Well, I will be ready. Oh, it's so like exciting and yet a little bit nerve-wracking to sit there waiting and waiting and waiting and Oh, you want the candle, wine, etc. Oh, Ella Parker, I'm sorry. I hope you can get it then. Well, I hope everyone who have a shopping list in mind, I do hope everyone gets everything that they want. It's gonna take some time. I didn't, watching Megan go through this process, I'm actually learning a lot about distribution and how much it takes to, get products off the ground and in the shops, or should I say, sold online even. It takes more than what you think it does, It's a lot of work. Oh yeah, and speaking of products, you guys, don't forget at the top of the chat there's a link for these products. I didn't realize it was two different coffee cups. So I have the one where Megan kind of has her back um, turned and looking toward the camera, but I didn't realize there was another one. So I haven't taken the time yet, but I really want to. I want to gift one of those tote bags. Oh, okay. Oh, they come in different sizes. They have the 1313, the 1616, and the 1818. Okay. Would it be weird to get the tote bag and then frame the picture? Yeah, that would be kind of weird, wouldn't it? Okay, so Phoebe. There's one bag called Phoebe. At least I think I got that right. Okay, so there's Inara, Celine. The one that's on the screen there is the Chira bag, and then there's the Soraya. Those are beautiful. Oh, okay. All right. Good night, Ella, or good morning, Ella Parker. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, you guys, I'm going to say good morning or good night, whichever applies. Thank you all very much. And I will see you all next time. Let's see. I think I want to end with something different today. Oh, wait, I don't have anything else. Oh, yeah, I still got this. Okay, see